Beat your ass, and I'm gonna beat Gervonta Love ass. And my mama, I'm gonna beat both your ass. And my mama. And he laughing. He laughing.
What are you talking about?
What
does he have to do with this?
Let anything, you know what I'm talking about. Let anything. No, I don't have to say it right now.
I don't understand that.
Don't worry about it. I don't got to say it up here. Let anything happen. And I'm going to show you and him back.
It begs the question, Tank. It begs the question, Tank. How was your training for him? I mean, now you're fighting a bigger guy. Obviously, this is like...
This press conference was anything but normal when Gervonta Tank Davis and Jake Paul went face-to-face under the bright lights, turning tense into explosive within seconds. The stare-down was pure chaos as the energy in the room shifted, with a 3-division world champion and a YouTuber-turned-boxer locked in an unshakable stare. Neither man backed down, and the tension nearly erupted into a full-on brawl before security jumped in, leaving everyone feeling like the fight could have started right then and there.
This is happening, and you're about to get into the ring with Jake Paul.
I'm definitely excited. I think it's going to be good. He been in the gym and he been boxing for a little minute now, so he been taking it serious. So we just got to see what he bring come when we fight.
November 14th.
Yeah, November.
He's stupid as fuck.
Let's be honest, Tank Davis was once viewed as one of the scariest names in boxing, known for his knockout power, highlight finishes, and a reputation as one of the sport's most dangerous closers.
This is a dangerous fight for Jake. Gervonta's technical expertise, his speed, his precision, the fact that he's a counter striker are dangerous facts that make me think that Jake's really got to lock in for this one. On the contrary, if Gervonta feels a couple big Jake Paul shots, it's going to be detrimental.
I think this is going to be one of those ones that gets a real good racial split. I think it's going to be some real black versus white shit, dude.
Then came Lamont Roach, and no one expected him to challenge Tank the way he did. In their first fight, Roach shocked everyone by making Tank look vulnerable, and the bout ended in a controversial draw. Fans left believing Tank had been exposed, with Roach's reputation soaring while Tank's unbeatable image took a hit. Instead of granting the rematch fans were calling for, Tank avoided that test altogether and chose to face Jake Paul, a YouTuber, leaving many stunned by the move.
Into the ring, how much you think you'll weigh?
When I walk in the ring,
Yeah.
With or without the ankle monitor on?
that's corny. That's super corny. I don't know how much I weigh.
And the handcuffs, too.
Huh? What are you talking about, fam? That outfit is trash. For real. That outfit is garbage.
Thank you.
That hairstyle. Anybody that ever rocked a mohawk is a fucking clown. We all know this. Name
You
them.
want to see clowns? You want to see clowns? Gervonta, you're the fucking clown, buddy. Any man who puts his hands on a woman is the clown.
If I put my hands on females or
Yeah.
anything like that, right? You see how when I don't even want to bring up nobody thing, what's the name about that? But P Diddy, when things got like that, it was mad females coming out, right? So if I hit a female, right, wouldn't it be mad other females? Like I ain't been just with one female. Like I'm 30 years old. No.
Okay.
This fight isn't about legacy or proving who's the best, it's about money, plain and simple. That's why so many fans are upset, because facing Jake Paul adds nothing to Tank Davis's career and instead puts his legacy on the line.
Jake Paul versus Tank Davis, they just announced the fight. What's your instant reaction to that?
I don't know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. I think it's not a real fight. Jake just too big. Tank ain't gonna be able to get in from that jab. Jake land one good punch on Tank, it's over with.
Here's the issue. Tank is a natural lightweight at 135 pounds, while Jake Paul fights around 195. That's a massive 6 weight class difference, making Jake look like a heavyweight next to Tank.
95 pounds for this exhibition. The fight will be contested over 10 3-minute rounds. The fight is 195 pounds, Tank, as you know. The fight will be contested
over 10 3-minute rounds. And when Tank and Jake enter the squared circle to go to battle, they will be wearing 12-ounce gloves. Sitting ringside will be 3 commission-approved world-class professional judges that will score every round to ensure there's a decisive outcome for the fight if it goes the distance. And both men are enrolled in the highest level of testing with USADA. So Tank, Jake, thank you for doing this. Thank you for giving boxing another massive moment, headlined by yourselves, featuring multiple world title fights. But come Friday, November 14th, only one of you will have your hand raised and walk away with the W. The question is, will it be a W rendered by 3 judges or a W by stoppage? May the best fighter win. Thank you.
Hardcore fans know weight makes a huge difference, but casuals don't care. All they'll see is Tank Davis, one of the best in the sport, stepping in with Jake Paul, a YouTuber. And if Jake wins, no one's going to mention size. They'll just say a YouTuber beat one of boxing's top fighters.
That's a fucking disgrace of a fight.
Yeah.
You know it. Just like Mike Tyson, low-key was a disgrace, but we accepted it. But
yeah,
he was 60 years old. I mean, the casuals don't see the weight difference. They see Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis.
Yeah.
And if Gervonta Davis doesn't fuck up Jake Paul, they're gonna think Jake Paul is some pound-for-pound champion type of fighter.
Yeah.
Gervonta Davis he's actually really small. Like when I fought him, he's small.
Yeah.
So I just think it's a very unfair fight.
That's the nightmare for Tank. If he loses, boxing itself looks like a circus. But for Jake, this fight is the opportunity he's been chasing since day one.
Jake Paul, Tank Davis fight got moved to Miami.
I think Jake wins.
Jake's just so big, dude.
I think Jake wins.
This is different because it's similar. It's similar to Logan versus Mayweather, but Jake Paul now obviously is way more advanced than where Logan was at that moment in time.
I mean, it's just fucking sick.
I mean, yeah, no, but dude,
Did
Jake.
you ever watch his highlights?
Jake can crack, man.
He's so sick. I love that guy.
Jake Paul has been chasing respect from the start, taking on ex-UFC fighters and even Tommy Fury while turning himself into a real pay-per-view attraction. But what he's always craved is the chance to prove he belongs with elite boxers, and facing Tank Davis is that shot.
Nah, they'll never give me credit until I have the world championship belt, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. You know, but belts collect dust, and what I've done in the sport is unprecedented. Never will be replicated, and done it in such a short amount of time, just getting warmed up. They're not going to give me credit, but I don't need the credit from these bozos, to be honest. The credit's in my bank account.
Jake understands his size is the biggest advantage. He's coming in bigger, stronger, and carrying knockout power. And unlike the Tyson fight where he was mocked for picking on a 60-year-old legend, this time he's facing a dangerous, active fighter in his prime. If he wins, it's not just respect on the line, it's a complete shock to the sport.
Gervonta Davis just posted that he would beat the brakes off of you if you guys fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. Like, I'll be super, super down. I don't know if
Gervonta needs Jake Paul. Let's be clear, right?
Is there a height limit in boxing?
That's why boxing purists are angry, because this fight isn't just risky, it's reckless. Tank doesn't need Jake Paul. He needs matchups with Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, or a rematch with Lamont Roach. Those are the fights that would secure his place in history.
He ever come to you and said, Terrence, what do you think? Dip your toes in the MMA water. I don't get paid enough. But if you did? Nope. $5,000 to show up. $5,000 to win. $5,000 for best in show.
Yeah,
like,
hell no.
Yeah. Well, that's the guys coming out. Yeah. I know. But I'm just saying, that's how it is in UFC too. Yeah. They might get a little more money, but they be same thing, like 20,000.
Yeah.
So they fighting their off to get that bonus. Boxers, man, win, lose, draw. We getting X amount that's on that contract.
Yes.
And that's it.
That's how it should.
Instead, Tank is chasing the payday. And sure, it's understandable. Floyd Mayweather did the same thing, turning boxing into a business and building an empire from it.
Holy shit, Jake Paul versus Tank Davis is actually happening. What the f? is going on? I guess Tank is going broke because that's the only justifiable reason you ruin your legacy against a guy like Jake Paul. And yes, I do think Jake Paul is going to win. Tank Davis is a much better boxer and has crazy power, but he's 5'5", 130. That power is not going to carry over against someone who is 6'1", 210. And it's not like Jake is bad. Yes, his fights are boring. He says he's going to step in the ring and sleep his opponents, but the only people who end up sleeping are the audience. Mike Tyson fight. But at the end of the day, he's a big guy with power who is training boxing full time, and he has beaten some legitimate competition. Woodley, Nate Diaz, Anderson Silva, Mike Perry had a competitive fight with Tommy Fury, but it's crazy how particular Jake has to be when selecting his opponents. They have to have enough clout to be interesting, enough skill to be taken seriously as a threat, but at the same time have clear weaknesses and disadvantages that Jake and his team can exploit to win. Now that he's fighting an elite boxer, he has to fight someone 7 weight classes down. I mean, Tank could win if he makes Jake do a very aggressive weight cut, but I just don't see that happening. I got Jake by 3rd round TKO. He should put me on the co-main event and allow me to fight Francis Ngannou. That would be an easy first round knockout for me.
Here's the difference. Floyd proved himself first, staying undefeated against the best of his era like Pacquiao, Canelo, and De La Hoya. He earned the right to chase money fights.
It's crazy that everybody keep asking me, why you not coming back to fight? Why you not coming back to fight? So I look at the fight game, I said, okay. I said, you know, fighters fighting, they make 3 million, 4 million, 6 million, 7 million. Some may make 10 or 20 million. But I'm doing exhibitions and I'm making 20, 25 million, 100 million for exhibitions. So why would I come back and fight and get a guaranteed 35 million when I'm doing exhibitions and getting 100 million?
Tank hasn't earned that status yet, and choosing Jake Paul while avoiding real opponents isn't a good look. The recent face-off made that clear. Tank showed up with his usual scowl, eyes locked on Jake, while Jake smirked, leaned in, and kept talking. The noise drowned out his words, but the body language showed pure dislike. Things quickly escalated as both men stood up, security rushed in, chairs moved, and cameras scrambled, with fans convinced a punch was seconds away. That's the kind of chaos promoters want because it sells pay-per-views, but for boxing, it felt more like WWE than the sport itself. Shakur Stevenson has already blasted the matchup, calling it disrespectful and accusing Tank of ducking real competition by picking Jake instead of him.
Maybe he'll fight Jake Paul instead. What do you think of that?
I think that's terrible.
Why?
I mean, I get it because at the end of the day, it's the money business, and you want to make the most money. But from what I'm hearing, he can make more money in a fight with me. And if that's the case, why not fight me?
Sure. Do you think he beats Jake Paul?
Do I think he beats Jake? Yeah. I mean,
there's a huge size advantage, though.
It is, but I think Tank got the skills to make sure he come out on top.
Do you think that Jake has gone better?
Yeah, I think actually Jake got tremendously better from the time frame that he started till now. And in the right situation, I also could see him become a world champion.
Really?
Yeah, Jeff Mayweather brushed it off entirely, saying the fight makes no sense for either man's career.
Oh, I don't even understand why the fight is happening.
That sounds like an excuse to me. People, Jake always gets a hard time, for not fighting the best and top guys. And here he is fighting a current world champion, a pound for pound guy. And, obviously showing he's taking all comers.
A pound for pound guy. I don't think that neither one of them are going to prove anything. I think that it's going to be an exhibition. So, and being that it's an exhibition, that means that nothing's going to happen anyway. It's different if it was a fight in which somebody's going to win. It's different. I mean, it's like it's one of those situations where it just doesn't make sense to anybody that's a real boxing fan. It doesn't make sense at all.
Mike Perry took it further, claiming Tank isn't the same fighter anymore and that he's lost his passion for boxing.
Jake is big. Tank has a lot of skill, but I don't think he's the same Tank that we saw the most incredible knockouts. We saw him, Lamont Roach performed great. They went to draw, and, I just don't know. And Tank walked away. I don't know if he loves it enough to beat a guy who outweighs him by 80 to 100 pounds.
Nate Diaz pointed straight at the weight gap, saying no one should be fighting that far outside their natural division.
I gotta ask you, Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis. Does Davis have a chance?
Gervonta is a great boxer, but he ain't gonna beat Jake Paul.
So you got Jake Paul by knockout, or?
No, I don't got anybody, but I don't think
he's just too small.
It just I don't want to beat up somebody that small. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying?
What do you think of the fight?
I don't want to lose to somebody that's. There's no point in the fight. It's a great fight, actually. I'm not hating on the fight, but I think my thoughts on it is let's watch and see what happens.
Ryan Garcia said that boxing is turning into WWE.
Yeah,
with that type of matchup. What do you agree? Last thing, White House card, like he said, you want Conor McGregor?
Yeah, but the whole thing's on WWE, so
right.
It's like, at least that's happening and it's getting something to talk about, something to watch, and I'm looking forward to that fight.
Dana White flat out told Logan Paul that both brothers need to start fighting opponents their own size.
He's gonna fight fucking Gervonta Davis. It's like when you
who do you got?
You guys need to fight guys your fucking same size. When you fought Floyd, you are massive. Floyd's tiny. And I'm sure when you were training, you're like, all right, I'm gonna hit this guy with a couple punches and grab him, tie him up. And he did hit you with a fucking bomb of an overhand right one time. And you fucking ate it. You ate that punch. And Gervonta, I think, hits way harder than fucking Floyd, but he's too small.
Dylan Dennis, harsh as ever, blasted the fight as a joke and accused both fighters of robbing fans of their money.
What do you make of Tank versus Gervonta versus
It's a joke.
Jake Paul?
It's a joke, you know. Yeah, it's a joke. It's gonna be like Mike Tyson. It's gonna be a sparring match, and after they're gonna just steal everybody's money. Same
You
thing.
gonna watch it?
No.
The pros are divided. Some call it a cash grab, others see it as a real fight. But the one thing everyone agrees on is that it does nothing for Tank's legacy.
It's done. Tank is hung him up, shoes off, get the bag, put a plaque up, he done. Tank is done.
When you say done, you mean like not fighting anymore?
Tank is checked out mentally. Tank is gone mentally. Tank looking for the big bag, of Jake Paul, Pacquiao, something solo, and he's looking to, hey, I'll see you later. Tank is standing. He's not gonna fight Shakur Stevens at all. At all. I don't care how much money Turkey offered, give him 4 Lamborghinis, whatever. Tank ain't taking that fight.
And maybe that's the real story. Tank Davis is starting to look more like Floyd than people thought, not just in style but in mentality. Floyd built his empire fighting on his terms, chasing massive paydays, and worrying less about legacy once his name was solidified.
Tank is not the guy that knows how to sell a fight. Tank cannot sell a fight in his own division. You have the Paul brothers and they come over to boxing. Their idea from day one is we don't have the skills or the experience. What we're gonna do is we'll take on the absolute best guys, but they're gonna spot us some pounds. Tank has one job to do, that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. My skills versus your skill, of which I am an abundance of and of which you have none of. Tank is telling anybody that will listen that there's a size problem. My skills and my experience in boxing, I do not have to wonder who's in the bar tonight. Any bar I go to, I rule the bar. No, it turns out that you don't. Just need some big guy to corner you, apparently. Boxing has never stood its ground. Boxing has never been able to explain why Floyd needed a half hour to get rid of a guy who's never boxed before. Tank Davis has already began this. When you choose a dum-dum, don't be surprised when he goes out and acts like a
Tank is following the same path, only earlier in his career, choosing money fights over legacy fights. Like it or not, that's the reality of boxing today. It's business first, sport second.
Now, my personal opinion is, for the people talking, I don't think any of y'all have ever seen $100 million. Number 2, boxing, it's a gladiator sport. It's very demanding on the body, on the mind. It puts you in a zone where you connected to that and that only. And again, Tank is a family man. He's a businessman. He's a brand. I'm pretty sure boxing is not his life 24/7. He got other things to worry about. And also, like, athletes are people. They have families. They want to travel. They want to.
And I really want to see someone knock the out of Jake Paul at this point, because of the fact that I respect Jake Paul as a boxer, because even though I think half of his fights, not saying they're staged, but I can definitely see a clause here and there. And really, why I think why people are hating on this as well, especially other boxers, is like, you're just mad they didn't choose you. Tank Davis is entertaining. That's what it is. He's the bigger name. He's one of the biggest names in sports right now.
And Jake Paul actually is a decent.
For Jake Paul, this fight is his shot at legitimacy. A win would rewrite his story from YouTuber to the man who beat one of boxing's best, the ultimate validation. For Tank Davis, it's a dangerous gamble, because if he wins, critics will say it was expected and he gains nothing. But if he loses, it's catastrophic for his legacy and pushes boxing further toward being seen as a joke. That's what makes this fight risky not just for Tank, but for the sport itself.
He should beat Jake Paul, shouldn't he?
No, he shouldn't.
You don't think? Sorry. So, I thought we were all unanimous here. Do you think that Jake Paul beats Gervonta Davis?
70 pounds is 70 pounds.
Gervonta Davis is very small. 5'5".
He's tiny, bro.
That's
what
what
I'm saying.
Jake Paul
He's a little
6'1".
man.
If Jake Paul's tucking up,
move on,
and absorbing punishment for walking forward, then look, there's a way.
That's it for today's video. Make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Drop your thoughts in the comments, stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one.